Yeah, I have to like go through and like fix my overlays. Horse Doctor like sent me all of them. It's like, oh, yeah, I should probably use those.
Right. It took me a little while to get used to them, but I actually kind of like the overlay that I'm using for this one. All right,
Yeah.
we are live now.
Woo! All right.
Hey guys, what's up? This is going to be our last game for tonight of Battle Arena. With me is someone totally different this time. With me, I have Ugly Tuco. How's it going?
Hey, everybody, how's it going?
Yeah, Santana had to drop out, had to do a few real life stuff, but we will be spectating your games to try to give you guys as much information as possible. Really quick here. I just want to lay down the rules for any first timers here. Number one is no team speak. This is a solo queue environment, and we do want to make sure you guys are trying to get the full experience of solo queue. So,
Yep.
yeah. Number two
Yep.
is. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna just say, even those who may or may not join a different TeamSpeak than the Trinity Force Network, we'll find out eventually.
Cough, cough, sporks.
Yeah.
Anyways, number two is no raging at your teammates or enemies. We've had this issue quite a bit today. And
Oh boy.
yeah, it's been infuriating for a lot of people. But if you do have a problem, make sure you do screenshot it and send it to feedback at TrinityForceNetworkPodcast.com. Or you can even message us about it, and we will try to handle it to the best of our abilities. Rule number three is no target banning. You don't target ban during ranked unless you're trying to Q snipe somebody. But even then, you shouldn't do that in general.
Yeah.
And last but not least is to have fun because it is a video game. So come on.
Yeah, and it's a custom game. Like
Yeah.
nothing. You're not gonna lose any. There's no ranked system or hidden elo for custom games. There's nothing you can possibly lose. So have fun.
Totally.
Maybe, hopefully, everybody will come away learning something today.
But on to
But, yeah.
bans. This is the first time Garen is not banned, which I am
Really?
super happy about.
Yeah. I mean, he's strong, but
Yeah, like
yeah,
ever
that's
since this
cool.
patch, like they toned down the Juggernauts just a tiny bit.
They
Well,
like kind of weirdly, slightly buffed Darius. They moved his power a little bit around, but the health regained by Q, his Q, if it hits more people, you get more health back. But if it just hits like a single person, he gets less. But yeah, those Juggernaut bands still pretty. They're still pretty. Not necessary, but they're good bands.
yeah, you can actually start banning out other champions apart from the Juggernauts now.
Yeah. Here. I'm excited to see Syndra. Did they ever make changes to her? I know they're considering. They did a lot of bug fixes recently with her knockback.
Yeah, they changed the knockback and they increased how much mana she gets per level now,
Cool.
which is
Yeah.
really helpful. That was one of
It
her
is.
main problems, apart from the many bugs that she has.
Yeah. And Fiora is still pretty strong top, but that's a very I want to say like it's a very high damage comp that blue team has put together here.
Yeah, it seems like one of those comps to where it seems almost where they want to just pick off somebody, but at the same time they also have a Draven and Fiora really. So
Yeah.
it's really just going to depend on how well everyone does team fight wise or laning phase, and then they can decide what to do as a group from there.
Yeah, laning wise, Draven and Fiora can really, and even Syndra can really snowball a lane. They can get out of control. And so Vi has the option of picking which lane she wants to get going, I feel like. And but once the laning phase ends, it's all gonna rely on the engage from Vi and the stuns from Syndra. Maybe a bubble from Nami, but I wouldn't rely on that necessarily.
Yeah, totally. But looking at some lane matchups really quick, we do have Lee Sin versus Fiora.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, never mind. Okay, that's good. I guess we should wait for the delay part. It's going to be Raging Pineapples versus Fiora. But
All right.
overall, I believe early levels, Shyvana has the advantage. Just because Fiora doesn't have that high base health or damage early on. It's not really
Yeah,
until she gets those items when she becomes a real threat.
and she really has to play around her passive if she's gonna be able to win trades. And so as long as Pineapples keeps that in mind, maybe hugs a wall when the passive pops up on her, um, you know,
Yep.
she'll really be able to dominate the lane early on. But yeah, her pushing power is actually really it out. She can really force Fiora undeterred if she wanted to.
Yeah, a couple things I want like to see both of them do is both
Mhm.
do a camp level 1. Obviously, I don't know if they are or not, but if
Mhm.
they're not, recognize that Shyvana probably will. And Fiora,
Yeah.
it's probably 50-50 chance. So just try to aggro the minions the best you can to where they're all hitting one minion. And the way to do
Yeah.
that is take aggro of all the minions once or two hits from the range, and then after that, go into a bush, and after that, they all should start attacking one minion, which will allow them the wave to be pushing your way.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right. Looking up at the other matchups in the jungle, we have Lee Sin versus Vi. They're both pretty early game. Like both can get lanes snowballing out of control. Um, Lee Sin might be able to be a bit more effective. Some Vi's like to wait until they get 6 till they really start ganking a lot. But she's still a very effective ganker before she hits level 6, as long as she's able to hit her Q. We'll have to see which. I'm trying to think which lanes they should focus or prioritize. If Lee Sin wants to counter gank, top lane is probably the best option, just because Shyvana will most likely be inadvertently pushing and be
Yeah.
far up ahead in lane. Annie is a fantastic lane to gank for, just because she has that stun. I'm assuming it's Annie mid and support
Oh yeah,
Nautilus.
probably.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I've been gone for a while, but I'm pretty sure that much hasn't changed.
Meta hasn't changed
Um,
that much.
but her passive is so strong. I think even on if the League of Legends subreddit ranked her passive almost number 1 or like
Really?
the top 5, as much as you're willing to listen to redditors' expertise on champions, which isn't that great. But people value her passive highly for good reason. It's really strong and it makes for really easy ganks. She can prep that stun up and make your gank it's almost a guaranteed gank where you're engaged and actually put damage on the enemy. So mid would be a good option. Bot lane, Nautilus and Kalista, even more. Like Nautilus just brings so much CC. He kind of has his options out for him. Draven would be a good target to shut down and make sure he doesn't get anything.
Yeah, I wish Kargman was here because he's like the Nami expert here.
Well, I mean, and I may have started copying recently, playing a lot of Nami in solo queue.
Oh.
Yeah. um, oh, Nami is just so awesome.
Yeah, anything with a stain is pretty oppressive
Yeah,
and amazing.
she and Janna kind of. I play them both similarly. You can play far back, but you can still be very active in lane. Like you're going up and initiating trades and kiting back very effectively. They kind of have similar play styles. You definitely don't want them up front trying to start an engagement, but their ultimates can help reset a fight. So they're pretty similar play styles, but Nami is just oh, okay then. Yeah, I would maybe like to see Lee Sin go down bot lane and make sure Draven doesn't get going, because he might be the biggest. He has the biggest snowball potential out of anybody on the other team, I feel like.
Yeah, really quick, if you feel like this is something that you're not ready for, or you just feel like I'm not high enough rank to do this, you should still give it a shot nonetheless. because this is an environment to learn, and
Oh yeah.
even if you feel like you're going to lose lane, you're still going to be gaining so much information by high elo players, giving you, at least I would hope that you at least gain one helpful piece of advice from us, I would think.
Yeah.
If not, then we ourselves are not doing our jobs right. But yeah, if you are interested, you can always head over to our main website, trainingforcenetwork.com, and sign up from there. We do also, by the way, have a bronze boot camp for more low elo type of players who don't feel comfortable facing silvers or golds. So if that tickles your Jimmy, you can always do that. It is on Saturday, 11 o'clock Central Time. So go ahead and check that out. Okay. Went over team comps, went over landing phases. I think the last thing we need to talk about is skins. Who wins the skin wars?
Yeah. Well, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Blue team by 1. Also, if you guys out there in chat are feel like you want to speak up and voice your opinion, go ahead and tell us which team you think is going to win, red or blue. On one side, you have a ton of damage output between Fiora, Syndra, Vi, and Draven. And on the other side, you have a more of a control-oriented team with the CC of Nautilus, Annie, able to really lock down one target and demolish them pretty well. So if anybody does get fed on blue team, I feel like red team will be able to, if they're able to focus the CC on that one particular target, they might be able to be okay, even if, say, Draven or Fiora gets really fed. But hey, we'll find out. That's what we play the games for.
Yeah. All right, finally we're in game. Took a little while.
It did. Items are looking all right.
All right, sorry about that. Okay, I'm ready to look at these players go.
I'd also advise you don't listen to the stalker when he says, I'm rusty, go easy on me. I've seen him play Draven very numerous times.
Yeah. We have a lot of Draven players in the T-Force community. I hate it.
Oh, wow. We got a lot of early game movement going back and forth. Red team does not have all of their whole team here.
Yeah, this is dangerous for them.
It is.
Stalker, you're being greedy. All
right. Something I'd like to note, if you back by the minute 20 mark, that will give you enough time to get back to your lanes with the minions. Something to keep in mind if you do get involved in an early level 1 fight. As long as you start backing by 120, you can get back to lane in time, usually. Or get back to help your junglers start their camp.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, if it's past 120, you have to make a decision if you want to go into lane like that or just be late to lane in order to get back that extra health you lost.
Shit.
But yeah, just
I think he's at work right
one
now.
Little tip there that I think I learned that from Horse Doctor, but yeah.
Microphone activated.
Looks like Shyvana is starting the camp, same with Fiora. They're both taking their junglers Raptors.
Been seeing a lot of Syndra today, which I'm super happy about. I think she's a really strong mid laner. Like I said before, I said the tip before last game, but I'm going to give it here. Every time you see someone just about to auto-attack, make sure you Q as Syndra.
Oh, man.
It's easy to harass.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's not the worst thing.
Sorry, what happened? Oh, the Fiora.
You would prefer that not happen, but it's not the worst. You're not losing anything with the way they changed how executions work in the jungle, but yeah, it's a little bit of a waste of time when you don't get that experience from that last Raptor.
How did she attack the Wraiths? I wasn't watching.
She went after she went after the large one first.
Yeah.
Which, if you're a single target damager, I think somebody did the math, and it might be better to just try to kill the little ones first, just so you don't have multiple enemies attacking you. I don't know Fiora that well though. I'm not a top lane player, so I can't speak too much on how you should try to do that level 1 camp. So.
No, you're totally right. You do want to do the little ones first.
Oh, Syndra trying to turn.
But even if you don't feel uncomfortable doing wraiths, do wolves then. Just ask your Vi if it's okay you doing wolves. Because this is so much easier. You can hit the big one and be alright.
Yeah. So it looks like both junglers are kind of roaming around top, sticking around. Lee Sin gets the Scuttle Crab. Knows he can't. He should know that he can't be able to take on Vi when she has red buff and he doesn't. Walks away. One thing I would like to point out in mid lane is that Syndra is already down to almost no mana.
Yeah. Generally, you don't want to be using your Q or any other summoners or spells for last hitting. You want to be really practicing auto-attacking as an AP carry and using your spells to harass because, like I said before, she has mana issues early to mid-game as well.
Most mages in general run into that problem early on, and I actually remember a lot in when we had the T-Force Network tournament. I ended up playing mid because that's just how it worked out. But I kept playing control mages because that's what I was comfortable on. But I would play it okay, but not to the best because my last hitting in lane was pretty atrocious. And it's something you can really practice on. I know a lot of people focus on that as a, say, marksman, but it's really a handy skill to have as a mid laner too.
Oh, totally.
Because that way you're able to save your mana for harass or as an escape. Because mid lane can be attacked from so many different angles. We already have a little bit of a roaming support here from Nautilus, throwing down some wards. A little early pink ward there. I like it.
Don't get greedy. Alright.
Oh, yeah, Kalista kind of initiating a trade there. 2v1, a little risky. Almost gets the benefit, or almost, ends up being beneficial, but...
Yeah, so going back top really quick. Shyvana was being really greedy for that kill. You already ignited Fiora, and she was going to die by Lee Sin. So you should just backed off, bead, and probably walked back to lane after that.
Yeah. Yeah, Annie right now I feel can really put the pressure on Syndra. She doesn't need me to be that. The only thing she needs to worry about is Vi. And if she's able to throw her yellow trinket down, which it's up, it's not on cooldown, she could throw it to one side of the lane, one of those side bushes, and just play to that side because you have vision there. She could really bully Syndra out right now just because she has mana and Syndra does not. Yep. Syndra does not have kill pressure on her, and she's just letting her free farm.
Yeah, honestly, since you have more mana, you want to be trading your mana now for your health, since she doesn't have any mana.
Yeah. So there's almost no way Syndra can, effectively trade back. Right now, she has no mana. No.
Don't be afraid to trade if you have more mana than your opponent by a large margin.
Yeah, it looks like Syndra's gonna back.
Which is probably wise.
Yeah. Probably has enough gold for Chalice, yep. I would recommend Boots instead of an Amplifying Tome. Well, I don't know, Boots actually might not... She doesn't really dodge... Annie doesn't have any really skill shots that you can really dodge around. But it looks like bot lane, we're about to get into a big fight here. Oh, the hook is missed by Nautilus. That's gonna be the end of that gank. Close.
Streaming's confusing. Alright, sorry about that.
That's fine. Annie's already roaming top. I like to see. I like seeing that, and that's a really good ward. I'm guessing Fiora placed that ward, but that's an excellent ward right there.
Yeah.
And another excellent ward by Vi here to make sure they have constant vision. They know Annie's going back up top, and now they know she's going back mid. Annie is an excellent roaming mid laner just because of the CC she provides for roaming. So I really like those wards that blue team has put out. Interesting ultimate there from Syndra. Ooh. Almost enough. Annie, you're gonna just have to back and lose some CS here. You don't have any health pots to get back the health you lost, and you haven't shopped yet either. That is one thing I'd like to point out. You know Syndra backed and came back with a Chalice and Amplifying Tome. He's gonna win every trade at that point. And you kind of need to start, you need to decide if you're gonna play back and trade and farm more, or if you're just gonna just push out and go back to base so you can equal your opponent in items, so you're not at such a disadvantage in lane. It's a delicate balance, so it's tough sometimes.
It's really weird because I've been doing a lot of research on Syndra lately, and right now the best Syndra player NA goes Hex Tech first on her after they get Chalice. Yeah. It's really weird, but he's the only Syndra player that does it. So I don't know if I should be following that or not.
I feel like that might be... Oh, whoa, where did that happen? Mid? Jeez. Alright then. Is that a 2? 1 for 1? 1 for 1.
Oh.
Ooh.
Gotta control your balls, Zach.
Yep. Some fruitcake there threw out their ultimate without stun. I feel like managing your stun is really important as Annie. Sometimes, like right now, you're holding on to it so you can be a threat to Syndra, but also what's really effective is holding on to 3 charges and then popping Molten Shield just before you throw out your Q or W or ultimate to get that stun without them expecting it. There. How's top lane going? Oh, mid.
Honestly, a little bit surprised. But no, actually not really. Fiora's a little bit ahead in CS, but that's just because Vi's been paying a lot of attention up there. So it's understandable why she's a little bit behind. Honestly, the best thing that Pineapples can do is maybe do some golems and just look for some solid TP ganks.
Yeah.
That being said, which I have yet to bring up, make sure if you're a top laner, communicate with your bot lane where to put wards.
Oh.
Because that could pretty much determine a gank or TP or not by where the supports are putting their wards.
Yeah. It's a pretty even game so far. Some lanes have a lead over others, but team-wise, a lot of the gold for red team is locked up in Lee Sin. He has 3 kills. Even though Kalista is down by over 20 CS, she's really only down by like 5 or maybe 8 because she has that 1 kill. They have yet to let Draven cash in his stacks. I'm wondering how many he has. Oh,
About
they're
to
gonna
find
go in
out.
now.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Throw a word in there. Oh, Vi's gonna get out. Wow.
Well, Draven passive is now down to 0. Or 13.
That was a... Yeah.
How can you tell how many Draven passives he has now?
Clicking on him, right?
It says 13, but I have no clue what that means.
That means he lost a bunch of adoration stacks.
Alright. I'll take your word for it. I don't even know Draven.
Yeah. You die, you lose. I don't know how much you lose, but I know you lose him. So, that teleport there by Shyvana, she didn't get a kill, but she recognized she has to get something out of that teleport, so they made a call for Dragon, got it, and even got a kill out of it too, so that was good. They did end up sacrificing top tower, but that's just a choice they made. They got Dragon, and they got a kill on Syndra, which may lead to mid tower too, so it's really like an extended trade. They traded top tower, they gave it up, but they also got Dragon and mid tier 1. So in the end, red team comes out a little bit ahead there.
Yeah. They have to realize that top lane is over, and they need to start prioritizing other lanes, or at least Shyvana does. What she did, which good job on her part.
Yeah.
I would honestly, yeah, going on her right now. Pineapples.
Oh, wow. Nice little solo kill there.
Yeah, a preemptive flash by Fiora there. Yeah,
Yeah,
she just realized it herself. Yeah,
Okay.
which is fine. It's just one of those
Yeah.
things you need to realize when you're dead, you're dead.
Yeah, I do. I still do it all the time. It's something that everybody can improve on.
Oh, totally.
So, what should each team's goal be here? They're like red team is up by a little over 1,000 gold. They are even in turrets, but they do have that mid turret down. Should they try and focus a certain lane or try for a certain objective here?
Who, blue or red?
I feel
Sorry.
like, huh?
Blue or red.
Red team. I feel like they have the initiative here. They can be the ones dictating this game. I feel like they need to be the ones dictating this game and decide what happens next.
Yeah, they need to start grouping up or start prioritizing other lanes or forcing down, because
Well, like right here, Syndra's pushed up really far. She has
Yeah.
no tower to fall back on. That would be a good place to start if you wanted to pick, so you could rotate to a tower or such. But also, they could gank bot. It doesn't look like.
ooh,
That was really bad.
all right.
They did get the kill on Draven, but it's gonna be. That's gonna be a 3-for-1 in favor of blue team. They just went and got that gold lead
All
back.
right. So Anders,
Um,
I saw what you're trying to do there. So instead, when you got the Q on the ADC, Q, do your E, auto attack, alt, and then if he's still not dead, flash out of the turret, because you put yourself in a lot of danger there.
yeah, I think he tried to do the flash so you could kick him back, right?
I believe
what
so. I
happened?
think
Yeah, I think that was the goal.
he was either trying to kill him or just trying to kick him back.
hmm
Either way, he could have saved his W
Oh.
or his flash for safety.
Nice move there by Lee Sin. Oh.
So right now for
Annie.
Fiora, let's
Annie
watch
might
this
be
kill
dead.
really quick. Yeah. So Fiora, if you're gonna keep on split pushing like that, you really need wards. What I
She
would-
does have
Yeah.
top Tribush warded, but that's not enough.
What I would recommend is getting a major sight totem and
Mm-hmm.
prioritize it and put it on top of the red buff and the right to the bush camp right next to wraiths. That's really gonna
Yep.
help you out.
Oh, Nami is in trouble.
Microphone muted.
Yeah.
There.
And yeah.
Oh no, no.
All right, so let's see here.
yeah, no problem.
Blue team's up by about
Microphone activated.
500, 600 gold. Pretty even. Their next objective, I feel like, has to be that mid tier 1 turret.
Yeah.
As a team as a whole, it's gonna allow them to roam across the map much more effectively once they get that down.
Because red team needs to realize that a lot of their kills are on Lee Sin, a champion that falls off late game. So all your gold that's going onto him is going to be really not that effective.
It's really weird. Both junglers have a lot of their team's gold locked up in them.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Wow, good job on actually Vi for realizing that they need a tank on their team. I didn't realize that she went Bomby Cinder. The good old
That's
Cinder
great.
Hulk.
Oh, Fiora. I feel like she might have been looking the other way when she started that teleport.
Alright. +1 for TPing somewhere, but -1 for
Yep.
TPing.
So
in
they
the
made
wrong
a pick.
spot.
Red team can decide to take top turret or mid. They already took bot. If they're gonna take mid, they need Kalista to rotate mid to take it. But it looks like top turret will be the target here. So the rest of red team needs to kind of play careful and not get picked out like what's about to happen. I hope you have your stun up, Annie. Yeah. Red team does take top tower. Man, this is a close game.
Stacks he has. is. Oh yeah,
Dragon's up.
It's a good thing Santana isn't here.
Oh.
Oh,
Whoa.
that red buff burn.
Oh,
This
nice
Lee
flash.
Sin making plays. I will
Yeah.
give him credit for he is using his advantage really well.
Yeah. Ooh. I do also very much like the Mobies and Sightstone buy. But I feel like they're not gonna be able to take down mid turn. They might rotate to Dragon, and if it's not contested, they have to be really careful because they have 3 people at around half health. They may have to back off if Draven's going top, Nami's not there. That's an uncontested Dragon.
All right, Zach, no, you're right. Syndra did steal Dragon the very first time. I didn't see that before.
Oh yeah.
We'll give you credit.
My bad.
Yeah. For now. Let's see what else we have going on here. Thank you.
Well, red team's gonna back here. They just got they're sitting on a bunch of gold. They need to go spend it. Yeah, like Lee Sin's sitting on 3,000 gold. Shyvana almost 2,000. Kalista 1,100. They need to buy and then group up and rely on Annie's stun or Nautilus to engage, or even Lee Sin to engage and get a pick and then roam together as a team. They could either get a pick onto Draven, they could force mid, they could maybe ward up Baron and try to make a play there by clearing out blue team's vision, which is very good, by the way, around Baron. It's really solid. But
no. All right. Anyways, what do you feel about Vi going Zeal instead of Sheen second for finishing Trinity Force?
Yeah, I would prefer if you're gonna build Trinity Force, usually Faye. Oh, nice stun by Annie there. All out team fight. There's no Shyvana there.
Oh.
And they almost get away with the kill, and that's an interesting teleport from Shyvana.
Do you know if Zach P... Oh, here we go. Pineapples. Alright. This fight ain't over yet.
Oh, wow. There it is. Wow.
Yep, they somehow managed to pull that off.
Yeah, I was a little surprised they started that fight. I don't know who necessarily engaged there, but I forget. I don't remember if blue or red team like initiated that fight, but red team comes out ahead. Yeah, they recognized they had 5v4 and they started out well, but
once they realized that they weren't going to get anything mid lane, and after they somewhat won the team fight, they should just backed off right away. Because Shyvana,
they tried to.
They have plenty of wards, and they should have seen Shyvana coming, even with TP.
Wow. Yeah, that Kalista has quite a bit of gold on her. Red team is a little bit overextended right now. They are not high on health. They're low. Blue team's coming up. They're gonna be able to get out. All right.
So I think you're going for Void Staff Syndra, which I don't agree with the second item. They don't have a lot of MR right now. Actually, they don't have any. So I would probably go for Luden's Echo, second item.
Or yeah, that or Rabbit, like any major AP item.
Yeah.
Would be very excellent.
Because Void's good when it's a good third or fourth item when people finally
I think
have some
she's
MR.
trying to build towards
Death Cap,
she's trying to build towards Death Cap. Yeah, it just hasn't had the cash for needlessly.
Even then, like yet. It's really expensive versus Echo.
It is.
I'm not a really big fan of the Merc Treads by Nautilus, really. I would like to see Moby boots on them.
Yeah, Moby boots are usually Merc treads are one of the more expensive boots in the game. Oh, I don't know why Fiora decided to go in there. That was very risky. Nice use of Callista ult there.
Uh-huh.
They can definitely make a play. Baron is a little risky just because Vi is up, but you are up 5-3 in terms of people who are up. So as long as you have somebody running interference, they should be okay. And if they're going to start it, they need to start it within the next 5 seconds. Yeah. Alright, they're going for it. They have a pretty well warded, swept out Baron pit.
Uh-huh.
It looks like it's going to be a free, uncontested Baron. Nami's going to show up and get vision, but she won't be able to do anything. And she's going to get hit by Nautilus. Ouch. That's too bad.
Yeah, there was no reason to go there, really, for Nami's part.
Yeah, well, once you got that ward down, that's the most you can do as a support. The bubble steal is probably not going to happen, but...
I mean, you could pull off Wild Turtle and steal the Baron, but even then, it's not worth the risk.
And I like the immediate move by 3 of those members on red team to go for turret that has the lane already pushing. That's excellent. Lee Sin and Nautilus kind of running interference. I would like to see Nautilus paired up with the rest of his team, though.
Yeah,
I know he is pushing down mid, but he'd be more effective peeling for his team right now.
Ooh.
It would have been very nice if he was there for Callista right now. Yeah, as a support, you never want to be in lane really by yourself. And you kind of, like, Lee Sin was there, but Lee Sin was kind of just, he's alright. He's got mobility. If he gets in trouble, he can get out of it quite easily. You also have that passive with Callista, where if you both auto the same person, you do an insane amount of damage. So I would prefer that after you get Baron, you stay with one of the 2 carries on your team, either the mid laner or the marksman, and peel for them and do all the great things as a support you can do for them.
That being said, props to Blue Team for recognizing that Lee Sin and Nautilus weren't there.
Yeah, they saw their opportunity and they went for it.
Yeah. Now they're only 4K behind.
Draven.
Oh, baby.
Ooh. Red team can really, if they engage here, they can make something happen.
Oh, nice
but nice
stun.
Syndra stun. That was a really good Syndra stun.
It was.
I don't see Callista. She's really far. Yeah. Whoa.
Ooh, but nice ult by.
And then another flash by Vi. Wow. Oh, that was just very messy. Good play by Syndra. She stunned both Annie and I forget someone else, but that allowed them to get a quick kill. That was a really good stun. Red team did kind of walk in one by one there.
Uh-huh.
But yeah. Good play by Blue team all around. And once again, we're only like 1,500 gold difference at this point in the game, which really isn't that much.
Yeah, it looks like Red Team's still far ahead, but really, it could be anyone's game at this point.
Yeah.
They've thrown so hard with Lee Sin still farming and Nautilus just doing whatever.
Mm-hmm. Alright, let's take a look at items.
I wish we could figure out when Baron's up on this spectate.
Yeah.
Because at least 1 minute before, they should start getting some pink and any sort of
Let me see
coverage.
if I can look it up. It was back... Oh, I have to move my chat screen over.
I think it gives us like a 1 minute like notification, I think.
At the 24... It says 6 minutes? 7 minutes for Baron? 6 or 7? Right?
Yeah, it's 6, I think.
6? It goes 4, 5, 6.
I should really know this. Come on.
Oh my god, why can't I remember?
I know it's 5 for dragon. It's always.
Oh yeah, so it's 6 for Baron.
Yeah, 6.
Oh
Yeah.
wow, there goes Raven. So yeah, at the 31:30 mark, Baron will be up, but we got another big team fight. Red team comes up pretty far ahead on that, even though they lose Annie. They should be able to take an inhib here.
Yeah,
I
they
think.
have to. They have to give this up. And it's really a shame too because Fiora was super far ahead, laning phase wise, but then she just threw by not having enough ward coverage. And now she's forced to go tank.
Okay, all blue teams up. Blue team can really they're gonna lose an inhib here, but they can. Red team really needs to back off. Kalista.
Oh.
Alright, Nautilus just set. Yeah, you gotta sack it. Oh, there's. Yeah, blue team really can clean up here.
Is this Draven's Penta?
Nice use of parry. Alright, so red team did get the inhib. Man, they gave up 2 for it, but they'll probably take that trade any day. They now have constant pressure mid lane, and if blue team does want to push up mid, it's gonna be really hard to do against those super minions. What red team can now do is push out bot or top. If they push out top really hard, they can then collapse back onto Baron, which is up in a minute 15, and clear out all the wards and try and force a favorable fight there, or just take Baron if blue team doesn't respond to that threat.
Like, what's really surprising here is that blue team has a lot more wards than red team for being behind.
Yeah.
And that's something that blue team should honestly be taking advantage of, honestly. Baron's up in 1 minute. They should put some wards there, go back, and start hovering around it.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
No. They had no reason to be mid lane, blue team.
Oh, wow. Fiora.
That was really bad team fight by red team. That should have been an
Yeah,
easy cleanup.
The peel for isn't quite there for Kalista and Annie. And Annie and Kalista could be a little bit better positioned for these team fights. But it's not like they're in the front line. Vi and Fiora are diving really hard. One thing I noticed was that Kalista ulted Nautilus right in the middle of that fight. And the engagement has already happened. Taking him out of the fight at that point, you're going to lose CC doing that. So, probably don't ult him in the middle of the fight. Either ult him near the tail end or at the beginning to get that knock up. But, yeah. Yeah, they're going to have to really focus their peel for Kalista and Annie. They're dying too fast in these team fights.
It's time for red team to rush Baron right now.
Yeah, they can do it.
This is what I like to call...
Teleport's down for Fiora.
Yeah. This is cause and effect. You take inhib, they go Baron. It always happens.
But they need to do it right now.
Yeah.
If they're going to do it is the thing. She had the range for the ward, not Baron. I was like, what?
No, guys, you're wasting too much time.
They've wasted, it's too late. They know Javen's bot.
Kalista.
What is Kalista doing?
Please.
Oh. Yeah. They can definitely take it, but, especially with they have a double smite with Kalista. At the 1500 mark, Kalista can just... somehow Annie
with
gets
the steal.
it.
Right.
I don't understand that. Oh! Whoa! Oh,
so
no.
much going on.
Oh, no! Oh,
wow.
red team, you guys, you had it. And then
they
the
can
Lee
end
Sin
right
kick.
now.
Yeah.
Oh, no, they can't.
I mean,
they can't.
Yeah, they really can't. Those Baron Empire minions are going to prevent anything.
Yeah.
Good wards by both teams, but it's just, for one, red team needs to start Baron faster if they're going to make that decision.
The call was right, but it was
Oh,
just
wow.
way too slow.
If they had made that decision like even 5 seconds earlier, they would have been able to get away.
Just like
Baron.
that team
Maybe
fight in the
lose one
middle.
or two.
It was the correct call, but it was just poorly
Oh,
placed.
Lee Sin.
Yeah, Stalker is going off. This Draven.
Yeah, like he's really far ahead now.
All he needs now
It's
is Last
funny
Whisper.
because Vi and Fiora are putting so much pressure on the back line of red team that Draven can just sit there and he hasn't really been threatened unless he's been by himself. Which he is right here and Nautilus can't do anything. I would have liked to see, well, I don't know if Frozen Heart would have been that great of a purchase for Nautilus. I feel like Frozen Heart would be, your team should have one.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not too many people that rely on attack speed too much on the enemy team, but...
And it's something that we're going to cover later, but I don't like selfish items on supports, really.
Yeah.
And Randuin's is one of them. Get a Righteous Glory, get a Frozen Heart. That would be better than what you have right now.
Yeah, like, Randuin's is a great item, but the Frozen Heart would help your team a little bit better.
Yeah.
In the team fights.
Syndra, please. You need to get a sweeper.
She's really fallen behind on like
yeah.
She's really fallen behind on farm. She's struggling to find it this late in the game.
Which honestly, you should probably just use your ult. A lot of things that Syndra's do when they're behind is they use their ult right away just so they have many balls on the ground as possible. Then they use their E just to stun as many people.
Mm-hmm.
And you might as well just be the crowd control of the group.
Yeah. So red team, they've been most successful when they've been able to get a pick onto Draven. I feel like they actually have an opportunity to do that right now. Draven is not in a good spot, and he's gonna run away, which he should. He has no one there to peel for him in case a fight breaks out. Lee Sin and Annie pushing. So it looks like they can do a 3-2 split push. Looks like they could collapse mid. That's a good move. Fiora is a little out of position. Red team needs a collapse. They need a collapse. Shyvana and Nautilus and Kalista, guys. Come on, guys. Get there, get there, get there. There you go. Nice.
Oh.
Oh, Syndra, that was an interesting choice to ult there. Yeah. Red team has the advantage now.
This game is so close.
They could just take this in hit for free and then rotate bot lane. They might not be able to take anything bot lane, but they can apply pressure there and maybe look for another pick. Interesting ult by. Oh wow.
Yeah.
There's nothing left for them to take mid right now. Honestly,
just go back.
There's no reason for them to stay. Yeah.
Don't be greedy here. But
if they made an immediate rotate bot, even then, if they immediately went bot, I don't think they would have been able to get that tower in time. But they definitely can take bot tower now. They can apply pressure there, but everybody will be up for blue team, and they'll be able to respond to this.
But quick tip or comment for Zach B, really quick, is you're a control mage. You're not supposed to be diving in the back line and killing all the squishies. You're supposed to be hitting whoever you can.
Yeah, she did land a stun onto both Annie and Kalista, but you've been successful in team fights when your Fiora and Vi have been the ones to go and dive in the back line, and they need to be the ones to do that. And they'll follow up your stun. You really shouldn't be following up your stun by yourself when they have like Nautilus right next to them.
Yep.
He'll just lock you down.
So right now,
red team's sticking around, and they're a little split up. Blue team can make an easy pick here. Annie's off mid, Shyvana's top. Red team has to be really careful here.
this is the time where people have to decide whether to go for a dragon or prioritize Baron. And this is where wards are important here. So if you see someone go for a dragon, rush Baron.
Yeah. Red team can ward out both right now and clear out the enemy wards too, and then go back and have enough time to pick dragon or Baron right now. So they didn't ward up either one. I'm guessing they're probably short. I'm guessing Nautilus was like, his sight stone was empty. So yeah, back now. Get ready for those 2 objectives, because that's where the next fight's gonna be, and try to get vision control as much as possible.
Yep.
I do see, what's your 1, 2, everybody has their trinket upgraded, it looks like. Syndra does not. Oh, she does. Yeah, everybody has their trinket upgraded. Looks like each team has 2 sweepers, 2 greater totem trinkets, and upgraded blue, so both teams should be providing and denying vision. Red team has the advantage right now. They got there first. They can set up their vision, clear out enemy wards.
Yeah, so far I don't have many gripes on item builds, apart from maybe Annie.
Whoa, go guys. That's the go sign.
Anders. Trying his best to make a play, but not working out.
Okay, peel, Nautilus, peel for it. Hit that Vi and Fiora. Hit that Vi and Fiora.
This is blue team's.
Oh, she missed the Tibbers.
Yep.
Oh.
Penta.
Oh.
Give him the Penta.
Oh no, you gotta earn that Penta.
No, give it to him.
So Lee Sin went in, and the team was they were there, but they were. Annie wasn't there, I noticed, until near the end, and she missed Tibbers, didn't throw down a quality stun either, and they really had to keep their eyes, like Nautilus and
Lee.
And he really needs to keep his eye on where Fiora and Vi are, because they're the ones diving in and getting the kills on Annie and Kalista.
Honestly, I don't think that was even... I put part of that blame on Lee as well. Like, I don't want to...
Yeah, he saw an opportunity to go in, and it was pretty aggressive. And
but he
I don't
just
think
didn't have
his
enough
whole team
people,
was ready for that. Yeah.
Like I said, it was everyone could have done something to improve, but as an initiator, as someone who's likes to initiate a lot for their team, me myself, you need to understand if your team is ready or not to follow up on your initiation.
Yeah.
I was planning on going tanky Vi with this game matchup. Yeah, your guys really needed to tank this game.
Yeah, no, the Vi and Fiora are... I'm surprised how much damage Fiora is able to do with those items. How is Annie securing these objectives? I don't understand.
She's taken, I think, 2 dragons and 1 Baron so far.
I don't like. You have like. I feel like it's interesting. I'm kind of surprised to see Red Team so aggressive here. They don't.
Well, it's like one of those things where like you don't really know the gold league, so it looks like they're even.
Yeah.
But if you look at the gold, and especially the Draven, they're super far behind. That's where all the gold is. It's on Draven.
Yeah. So like, I would say if Lee Sin is gonna go dive and kick someone back, it has to be Draven. It can't be anybody else. Don't waste it on. I mean, I'm not trying to be mean or anything, but don't waste it on Syndra. Don't waste it on Vi or Fiora. It has to be Draven. That's the only person who you should be using like a flash kick on. Otherwise, he's good to just sit back and hit you and chunk you down in 3 hits.
Yeah, honestly, Draven's being really greedy with his build, so I would play safe until Annie has flash up. No! That was a really bad path by Annie.
Yeah.
But I was going to say they should have waited.
That's going to be a game.
Yeah. They should have waited until Annie's flash was up, and then they go all in, and Annie flash Tibbers Stalker.
Yep.
That was their win condition.
Stalker. Oh, wow. Yeah. That's game. Red team's team fight
Wow, what a
potential was
comeback.
better, I feel like, but their focus was just all over the place.
Well, it was one of those things where like Lee had all the farm, but yet they just didn't win early game. And
Yeah.
with that, Fiora started to get super strong. Draven did Draven things.
Mm-hmm. Both teams had opportunities. I feel to take it. Both teams had early leads, and they had opportunities to snowball that lead. But
Yep. A lot of things to cover, really close game, and that was honestly the best game of tonight.
yeah, no, but it was back and forth for the most part for most of the game.
Yeah.
But yeah.
On to match history. Event details.
Yeah, it was red team had a 5k gold lead around the 24-minute mark, and then they started losing team fights. They lost 3, kind of 4 big ones in a row. From the 25.5-minute mark to the 30-minute mark is where that game swung really back in blue team's favor.
Yeah. I'll turn off the video. Oh, the stream thing's hard.
It is.
Whatever, I'm just gonna go on normal screen. They can see all my maps. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Alright, well, first thing is first. We will have to look at... Anyways, wards.
Turn camp. Oh my god.
Really surprised by the wards by Nautilus. Only 35.
Let me see. Yeah, 35 isn't it? Or yeah, 35 isn't enough.
Yeah, at least in Warden more than the support. That's when you know if something's wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, just more overall, and also I'm looking.
I'm trying to find pink wards.
There we 3 go. Vision wards. Yeah. He purchased 3. Nami purchased 16, which might have been too much. Maybe not. You know, you can't complain about your support buying 16 pink wards. So
no, that's honestly very
especially when they're at full build anyway. But yeah.
16 wards destroyed by the Young Frown Power.
Yep, that's a ton.
That's a lot. So gold star to you.
But and like kudos to Annie and Shyvana. They also 5 and 6 is good for those positions respectively, and they both place quite a bit of wards for being in single lanes. Yeah, Nami with the ward award. I guess we can say call it.
But it is getting pretty late here, so we'll try to make this summary quick as possible here.
Yeah.
Fiora, I think you know what you did wrong early laning phase. Just remember, level 1, when doing a camp, if you are doing wraiths, do the little ones first, and then do the big one. That will...
Yeah.
You should be able to survive. If not, you have the wrong runes, or there's something wrong with your item build.
Yeah.
If not, just do wolves. You will survive no matter what if you get a Doran's Blade. Anyone can do wolves, except for Nasus. But anyways, make sure you also upgrade your trinket, use wards if you're split pushing right away. There's a lot of times where you were way too pushed up and you just gave them free kills and allowed Shyvana to come back. Apart from that, I don't know Fiora's base stats, so I can't say if Xerx's gauge
is great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like one of the situations where it's shitty because you're behind, so you have to be able to tanky. So I understand it. And you did your job, right? You had to tank up, and you dove when you needed to. But so you did redeem yourself late game, so good job in the end. Syndra. You went Chalice right away, so good job on that. Make sure you're queuing as far away as possible compared to her auto attack. Ever since it got nerfed, you should be able to easily beat this lane opponent to the ground. And I didn't really watch your laning phase too intensely, but I noticed that you were pretty fast there.
Yeah, she used a lot. She used her mana a lot to whittle down minions. Some of it was aimed at trying to chunk down Annie, but none of it really hit early on, and the rest was used to farm. And levels especially before you get that chalice, that's something you can't really do and expect to do well in lane. Annie didn't really take full advantage of the fact that you were for a lot of that time in lane, and she allowed you to go back, get chalice, and come back, and Annie did nothing, which I'll talk about later. But she is level 18, and one thing I did notice besides the early mana management was the farm fell off quite a bit from the mid once she lost that first tower. And it's difficult when you lose your tier 1 tower and everybody starts coming mid and becomes a free-for-all. It is hard to find farm. You have to go out of your way to get it, whether it's taking wolves sometimes or raptors, as long as your jungler isn't around with smite. Then if he is around, let him smite it so he can get that passive from it. But you really had to work hard to get try to focus more on farming during that time.
Yep.
I guess is what I could say, because otherwise you're going to fall behind item-wise. It took you forever to finish that Rabadon's just because you had lost tier 1 mid tower and fell behind on farm.
Yep. Last quick thing I'm going to say to Syndra is you went Deathcap second, which is really greedy for facing an early game jungler who was snowballing super far ahead of you guys. So maybe get a Zhonya second item and play a little bit more safe.
Yeah, a little too far forward. Like, you would land a good stun, and you would just get tunnel vision on whoever you stunned, ignoring the Nautilus that was in between you and the target, and all he has to do is auto you, then hook you, then ult you, and you can't get any combo or damage off during those chain of events.
Yeah.
So,
Vi, good job recognizing you need a tank on your team. I think we've praised that a lot. Training Force is pretty standard, so I'm not harping too much. Don't like Warmogs,
she had a lot of kills early on, so she decided to put some of that gold into a Trinity Force, which is fine when you're ahead.
Warmogs is not a good item when you're in a team fight. If you're a split pusher, maybe Warmogs. Just because they nerfed Warmogs so much.
Would you rather seen a magic resist item, I guess?
Honestly, yeah, I would.
Yeah.
They have a lot of mixed damage on their team. Shyvana does, Annie. Yeah.
I don't know if Aegis would have been a great item choice, but
Aegis.
Even like a Spectre's Cowl into something.
Banshee's Veil would probably be the correct choice. Yeah. But yeah,
especially with the CC they have on the enemy team.
Anything you saw in her laning phase or anywhere that she should have prioritized or no?
Both junglers focused top. I didn't see her bot at all, and as a result, it took a long time for Draven to get going. She did. She did go bot when she had a really good counter gank. It was when I was a red team had a 2,000 gold lead. I was they already taken mid tower when I was all right, so they need to make a choice what they want to do. They need to take control, and red team made a choice to go down bot and kill Draven. And it took them forever to get to Draven. By the time they finally got to him, they were all at half health, and then Vi came running in like a bull and had a really awesome counter gank, and they ended up 3-for-1, and Draven got a kill or two and started to snowball from there. So that was a really good move. I would like to see maybe a little bit more attention bot lane, or maybe even mid, because both mid laners make ganks really easy with their stuns. So yeah, mid and bot. Top is top. I don't jungle that much, and one of my weaknesses is actually not focusing top. I rarely focus it, even though sometimes I should. So my opinion on it is probably a little biased, but I rarely go top as jungler. But yeah, Nothing really. Like top was weird. I think you paid a bit more attention to it. Maybe you could talk about how much she should have gone top or not.
No, it's like it was fine because like she did what she got Fiora fed, and Fiora did get pretty far ahead. It was just unfortunate she didn't use the advantage that you gave her. So it's like one of those things where it happens. It happens in all games, so you just have to shrug it off. And I think you prioritize top, right?
Yeah, that's fine.
But anyhow.
Oh, I was thinking with that pickaxe. I don't know what you're gonna build that into, but I'd rather it be a Black Cleaver than a Last Whisper.
Yeah,
probably. Just because you can apply those debuffs a lot with your Q and E, and it applies to a whole bunch of people, and your teammates can take advantage of that, and it synergizes better with Cinder Hulk. But other than that, yeah.
Oh, he was getting Titanic Hydra, which is fine as well. I think.
Yeah. I like Black Cleaver a lot. That would have been a cool item to have, I think.
Yeah, no, Vi did well, keeping the enemy team from behind. But anyhow, we went on by way too much.
Yeah.
And on to the real Stalker. I wasn't paying.
The real one?
Yeah, this is the real one.
Okay, sorry.
Of course. I wasn't paying attention to bot side too much, so apologize if I don't know too much. Did you see anything?
I was a little surprised. Nautilus and Kalista were able to control the lane for the most part. The trades were more in their favor for the most part, and when they did go all in, Kalista was able to get a kill on the Draven early on. They did really well from the mid to late game though, and Draven did get a little too aggressive, being out in front too many times. There was 1 or 2 points where he was caught out, and you can play like that with like a Janna or maybe even a Braum, but if your Nami's not right there, you can't play that aggressive. And Nami's the only really supportive person you have on your team. The other 3 people on your team aren't gonna be able to peel for you that well. So they're just a little over aggressive once or twice, I felt like. But otherwise, his mid and late game he played very well, positioning wise, and target and his choosing which target to attack. He just chose what was given to him. And to their credit, Vi and Fiora made his job so easy because they commanded so much attention. He could just sit back and throw axes all day long. And yeah, he played his role and was a marksman. Good job.
All right. On to Nami.
Nami did great. I can't. All those items, pretty awesome. That was the right item build. The wards were great. The ward numbers were insanely good. The Mikhail's perfect with the Annie stun and the mainly for the Annie stun and to help your teammates get out of the way. Zeke's Herald for Draven to help him get going because he's your snowball champion. And then the Ardent Censer, which 1, 2, 3 people on your team can take advantage of. Those are all great item choices. Yeah. I would have liked to see better trades in lane. I think if I'm really nitpicking, I can't comment too much on it because I wasn't watching bot lane 100% the whole time. But I feel like if they watched a replay of this game, they might be able to pick out a time like, oh, maybe I threw my E onto Draven. Like maybe the synergy wasn't there. Like whenever I threw my empowered auto attacks onto Draven, he didn't go up and attack, or maybe I missed a bubble here during the trade. I think it's just like small stuff like that. That in lane, I felt like in terms of trading could have been a bit improved on, because I feel like she should be able to walk circles around Nautilus as long as Draven doesn't get hooked. So,
all right,
yeah. But their mid and late game together, they did an awesome job.
On to Nautilus. First comes the item builds. We touched on make sure you're going Mobies over Merc Treads. Just gives you better roaming potential overall, and it's way more cost efficient.
Yeah, it's cheaper to get early on, and allows you to place all those wards that you should be placing more of. Even though I did see him throw down an early pink ward, which was awesome to see. But the wording kind of fell off once the laning phase was over, I felt like. But yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, that's fine. Also, as I might have hyped on a little bit too much, but I don't like Randuin Omen on supports. Get a Righteous Glory. It would really help your engaged, especially when you have a Shyvana. Even though Lee Sin was making most of the plays, Righteous Glory might have made potential plays for Shyvana as well.
And I feel like it wasn't just Nautilus, it was Red Team as a whole that they couldn't decide if they wanted to dive the enemy or peel back, and they were caught in the middle a lot in that indecisiveness. And while they were trying to decide whether to peel for Kalista or dive onto Draven, Draven would just throw axes at him. And so I would just like to see more dedication to peeling for your 2 carries, because those guys were your damage.
That being said as well, how far pushed up was bot lane overall compared to Draven and Nami? I think they were pretty much pushed up through their lane. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so it's pretty hard to get some roams off. I was going to suggest maybe going mid versus the Syndra, but honestly, if you're pushed up, you need to protect Kalista. So yeah, you're just in a really tough spot laning phase-wise. But on to Kalista. Item build was pretty standard. Maybe get Bork instead.
Bork would help a lot with peeling away from Fiora and Vi, but it's tough because Bloodthirster's also a good defensive item to have. So I mean, I can't really fault her for picking either one.
It honestly depends like how many tanks they have or not. Since Vi was going more healthy and since Fiora was going more tanky as well, Bork might have been better here in this situation. Apart from that,
yeah, but she played team fights pretty well. She was kiting back and hopping all over the place, but it's hard when Vi has that point and click ult.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Especially if you don't have any peel coming from the Lee Sin or anything else. But you did your best to peel for yourself, and honestly, I was impressed at your orb blocking. So, yeah, good job.
Yeah. Just team fights didn't work out all the time. We can move on to Annie. She's actually really low in levels compared to everybody else in the game. I'm wondering how that happened.
Yeah, I noticed that she got a Giant's Belt pretty early in the game, which I think she wanted to get Rylai's, but even it's not a good item on her, at least in this situation. You want to be the burst everyone, and then you can then sacrifice your own life for whatever.
Yeah.
So, getting Luden's Echo, getting Rabadon's Death Cap, anything that can maximize your DPS and not instead of getting a slow would be the better choice, which I think you did realize, but it's one of those things you need to realize earlier on in the game and being stuck with the Giant's Belt.
Yeah.
Apart from that, I saw you trying to make some roams early levels. Make sure your lane is pushed up all the way and you give your opponent or your laners the information that you're coming as well so they can set up the gank for you. Apart from that, make sure you Tibbers somebody that won Baron fight, which I think you knew you screwed up on. But
yeah, I think I saw Tibbers missed a couple times, and I think you weren't ready for a lot of the fights that started. Like you didn't have your passive up, so try to keep track of your passive a little bit more and try to have it ready more often, I guess. You might sacrifice a little bit in farm doing that, but yeah, just especially when you're all roaming around Baron, try to keep it so it's like, oh, one Molten Shield away and I have my stun up and they won't see it coming. And decide if you're not in range to like flash Tibbers like their back line, use it just to appeal for your Kalista and yourself at that point. But yeah.
Shyvana. You did do camp level 1, so good job on that. I would honestly once you got kill level 1, maybe just try to just farm with your E and auto attacks. Don't use your W too much. Because if you're going the Ignite TP route, you're really acceptable for ganks early levels. And that just allows Vi to just keep on camping you and camping you. Which I did see you get a little bit frustrated there, but
yeah,
it's once you hit level 6, then you're perfectly fine. You can start being a little more ballsy then. But until then, on your first back, get a ward, maybe even a pink ward, and just play super cautious. Try to stay even in CS.
Yep. And be more aggressive when you notice that the enemy mid laner is out of mana. I mean, I guess she was playing safe because she didn't know where Vi was, but you had a trinket ward up at your disposal at that point. You could have warded one of the side bushes and played to that side. Play to the side that you have vision on, so that if Vi does gank from where you don't have vision, you have plenty of time to just walk the other way. But, yeah.
And last but not least, Lee Sin. Anything you saw from him?
He had really good early game presence. Tried to get everything going. There was one dragon stolen away from him, the first one. Sometimes that just happens. That final team fight that he went and he dashed over the wall and then kicked. I don't think it was Draven he kicked. I can't remember. I could be very wrong. But at that point in the game, you need to realize you can't just kick anybody from the enemy team, even if it's like their Syndra. She is not the one doing the damage on their team. It's the Draven, and your items actually really reflect that. I like your items a lot. I think he sold a Last Whisper, which I agree with. You realize that the later the game goes on, you're not the one who needs to be doing damage, so you went and got a player builds. Random and Zoman. Yeah, that was a good choice. I don't know how late into the game that was. 39. Yeah, just before the big team fight.
Yeah.
So good. I really like his itemization. It's really good. But you realize who the threat was item-wise, but realizing there's very few people you can kick at this point in the game, and it has to be Draven or no one. And if they engage and have Fiora and Vi going in, use your kick at that point to peel, I would have to say. But yeah.
And last thing I'm just gonna say,
he did a really good job early game.
Yeah, last thing I'm gonna say for Lee is just make sure when you go in, make sure your entire team's there, and also stay with your team as well if you have all the kills. 2 times where you could have potentially won the team fight if you were there when they're taking top turret / inhib, and if you would have ward jumped and actually started the team fight when everyone was there with you. That's like make it or break it for tanks, is how you initiate properly, which is tough to figure out, but it's a learning curve which you just have to figure out during time. But I think that will be it for us tonight. Sorry for the late showing, but it was really hard for us to get a first game going, so hopefully it won't be this bad on Saturday. But make sure if anyone who is bronze, we do have bronze boot camp for anyone silver 5 and lower. But other than that, any final words, Tuco?
No, that was an awesome game to spectate. I'm glad to be back. You guys put on an awesome show, and I'll try to do better next time. I enjoy doing this, and I hope you guys got something out of this.
Yeah, hopefully you at least learned one thing tonight. If not, you can report us to Pone himself.
You just go ahead and say, you can.
Yeah.
He's our boss, so.
Anyways,